Hey, hey. Hey, guys. I hope this is working. I see a few of you. Hello. Thank you for joining me. I'm so glad you're here. Welcome to the truth about what it's like to be a labor and delivery nurse from your favorite labor and delivery nurse. I'm really glad you're here live because I was afraid I was going to just be talking to myself. So, welcome. I am Mandy, and you are in the best live video you will find all day long because coffee, we are ready, and I'm so glad to be back live. So there is a comment over in the live chat. If you're here, let us know who you are, where you are in your pregnancy. And if you're new here, welcome. I am Mandy Irby. I am the birth nurse. I'm a certified labor and delivery nurse, Lamaze childbirth educator, peanut ball educator, let's see, mother of two, and I actually have one poor sick baby at home. He's upstairs. So that's always like a that's always a risk, when you go live. I don't know if you know this, but it's a risk. So we should be good. He's super sick, just tired. So he's like resting, asleep. We're good as long as he doesn't have to poop. I'm also the founder of the Birth Nurse Academy. So, hello to my Academy students. I'm on a mission to change birth culture. The goal is to go from problem centered, where you are just your diagnosis, to person centered, where birth and your providers and your professionals can really help you as your whole person because everyone is so unique and you really have to look at the whole person and not just your problems. If you've ever had a baby, maybe you can relate to that. And one way that you can help to start doing that and help me start change birth culture or continue to change birth culture, I think it's changing slowly but surely, is to get educated and know your options and your choices. And if you haven't already, grab or check out that PDF that's down in the description below. It's 125 labor positions, and it's all of them. That's all of them. I'm just going to say that that's all of them. So if you run out of ideas on what to do next when you have your baby, you can just grab one from the list. You don't have to think about it, and you know that you are at least set on that one item in your labor bag. One less thing to stress out about. So I think that is the beginning. We're going to go through 5 of my what I wish I would have known, what it's like to be a labor and delivery nurse. Are you ready? Put your seatbelts on. It's going to be so good. It has gotten me talking with other labor and delivery nurses, which I love. I love teaching other nurses. I really do. I spent all morning with a friend, and we are working on how to teach nurses in my hospital that I work at. And also, we're teaching nurses in another neighboring hospital in our state. So I love teaching nurses, but learning from them is, of course, better because they are, like they see so many births. In hospitals, you can see like 5 births a day in your 12-hour shift. So when you see a pattern, you really see it. And I think that is I just think that's awesome. So I asked a few what their 5 were, what their 1 was, and got some similar answers to me, similar ideas, but some really crazy ones. So I'm going to go through my 5, starting with 5, going to the countdown. So stick around till the end, and then if there's questions in the chat, I will get to them because I love that you're here live with me. So, oh, I hope that it's nice in the chat. Okay. Okay. I think it's about breastfeeding. I saw an ouch. So no catting. We don't like drama or cattiness. We just pump each other up. So if you're in the chat, let me know. If you're not and watching this later on the replay or on the saved version, then let me know where you are in your pregnancy journey or if you're a birth professional. And if you are, share with your birth professional friends because I bet they can relate to some of these. All right. Number 5. Number 5, things I wish I would have known, the truth about labor and delivery being a nurse, is the dad cry, the ugly dad cry never goes away. So the magical ability for one male human in a room full of other people to instantly make everyone in the room ugly cry never goes away. Okay, I'm going to preface with none of these wish I would have knowns would ever have changed my mind about becoming a labor and delivery nurse. It's just a funny title to like give a reason why I want to share these. truths about being a labor and delivery nurse. And also it's the first video in a new series called What I Wish I Would Have Known. And so my contribution is going to be the nurse side, but there are other people contributing, like what I wish I would have known about pregnancy, about postpartum, about breastfeeding, about gestational diabetes. If you have an idea, put it in the comments. I will come to you. I will record you telling me what you wish you would have known about X, about all about birth and what comes next is the idea. So my contribution is as a nurse. If I had known these things, I don't know if it would have changed. No, it would not have changed whether I am a labor and delivery nurse. It's just cool to look back 11 years or almost 11 years and to see kind of like what has stuck. So when dad cries, and it's not just partner, it's dad. When a dad cries when his baby is born, I don't know if it's like a cultural thing that men don't show emotion as much, or if it's just we're all exhausted by then, or what it is that puts him over the edge can put everyone else over the edge, but also like seeing him just get super emotional just gets me. It gets me. I cry. The physician is crying. Other nurses that weren't even there are crying, who are now in the room, helping. They're like, oh my God, he's crying. You're like, I know, I know. It's so beautiful. It just never goes away. So that's funny. That's like a tidbit. Okay. Number four. Okay. This is one that is shared by other nurses, but I don't know if we like put it into words regularly, is that what I wish I would have known how uncommon normal physiologic birth is. So what that means is like when I have a patient, so as an example, I have a patient who that I'm making up because of HIPAA. I have a patient who I'm giving a report to another nurse. Like it's 7:15, it's the end of my shift, and I'm giving a report to her. And I say, this is what is going on in this woman's birth or in this woman's labor. And, her water broke on her own. She came in labor and she was 6, active labor, right? We all know that. She came in labor. She was 6. She has been walking, moving, whatever. These are the people that are here with her. These are her risk factors and her past medical history. And then now her last exam, she was 9 and her water just broke on its own. So, well, in this situation, I'm probably going to, I don't know, hopefully stay and like help her through this because I've been with her all day probably. But okay, makeup situation. This nurse is getting a report for me and she is going to say something probably along the lines of like, wait, so is she on Pitocin? Or what'd she come in for? Labor. She went into labor on her own and she was already in active labor and she doesn't have Pitocin and we didn't break her water. Like we didn't manage her labor with interventions. Okay, that's just uncommon. It's just uncommon. And I wish everyone kind of knew that about their nurse and where they are giving birth, because I think that speaks to what the normal is right now and what your nurse has seen and what she sees and what your provider is used to, because that can shape, I hope this whole conversation can shape your perspective on what your providers and your nurses see day to day. So you may want, I just want normal birth. I just want a normal physiologic birth. That is someone who's low risk, of course, and doesn't need an induction because of like gestational diabetes or hypertension or something like that. So though I think those things we see more and more needing more medical interventions just on their own. We're seeing people with illnesses and other issues in their pregnancy more, I think, but also we just don't see natural, normal physiologic birth that much anymore. So I wish I would have known that because I used to skirt those people. I'm sorry. Year 1, year 2 of being a nurse, I was kind of terrified of you. I was kind of super like self-conscious and also intimidated by birth. And now that it's been 10 years and I've seen 10 years worth of like residents come through and new nurses, I like want to just grab everyone that is new and bring them in to these births that I get chosen for a lot because I enjoy taking care of that normal physiologic birth process. And I have more experience with it, maybe is why. I just want more people to see it. I just want people to just sit down and I want that like remember on Grey's Anatomy where you could like the physicians and surgeons and residents could like look over the surgery and they had that like viewing area. I want that. Of course I don't want that, but like I do because I want people to see normal physiologic birth, which I don't think we see enough of. So we're not used to it. We're used to continuous monitoring and interventions and Pitocin and breaking water. Like, why not? We could do all these interventions. Why not? What if we could speed it along? Why not? But that's not normal physiologic birth. So I just didn't know that there would be less and less of that. And that's a thing. That was a good point that someone made today and put it into words. And I totally borrowed that from her. But her words were so good with it that instead of me saying, oh my gosh, is that actually possible to have a baby without Pitocin and breaking water? I didn't know that. Like that's snarky and that doesn't mean as much to you. So so thank you for the words. She gave me those words because that's exactly what was on my list was like, is having a baby possible without Pitocin? Meh. Of course it is, but we just see it less and less. Okay, number 3. Thanks for sticking with me. If any of these like you can relate to, let me know. I love the conversation. And if I'm way off track, let me know. Number 3, nurses, can you relate? How physically and emotionally exhausting a labor can be. So that's for me, like selfishly, like you asked, right? I don't think you asked, but how, even if I don't see the baby come out, even if I don't help her through the actual birth of the child, just how physically and emotionally exhausting. Maybe it would have been great to just have this conversation with more people, as a new nurse or as a younger, I mean, I'm young, but like younger nurse that like, what does your next day look like for you? Because my next day after a really intense, I mean, a lot of my labors, like a lot of the more I know, the more interventions I want to do for like stretches and balancing and positioning. And it's just become so physical on my end some days. And of course on her end, but I'm not having a baby every day. She's just doing that one day. But even me going home and like not wanting to be touched and not wanting to talk and just wanting to curl in a ball. And then my next day, I'm useless. So I am old. Maybe that's why I'm in my 30s. Maybe that has an effect on my ability to function the next day after a big day and a big labor. But I'm like, my muscles are sore. And if it was emotionally draining, it's just exhausting to kind of hold everything in and together for someone that you're caring for. I think care providers can relate to this, maybe like end of life care also. It's just so much feels and it takes a lot out of you that when you give and give and give and give and give and go home, you're like, "Ugh, I'm empty. Like I'm empty. I don't have anything else for you, for my family." So if I had known that, maybe I would be able to give words to that to my family and just be like, I'm having my, it's like a post call for providers or for midwives that are like, post call, like, don't call me. I can't do anything. I can't go out. Like, even though I don't work 24 hours, it feels like that sometimes for a big day. Um, I forget what I was gonna say because I just saw someone walk by my window. Anyways. Oh, I thought that was from working nights. I thought, like, when I was newer, I thought I just, "Man, I can't handle, like, the next day, I'm just done." Or, I did 2 or 3 nights in a row, and I'm, like, done for a day and a half, and I thought that was the sleep thing, but really, it happens to me on day shift as well. So I think I think it's just physically and emotionally draining. I think it's just a big important job. It is. And you're holding space for a lot of things and you're taking away your own things and you're really like you're balancing her partner and her family unit and her those experiences and relationships and then you're balancing your provider and maybe there's 5 of them. I work at a teaching hospital and then you're balancing like keeping your own stuff out, but also a million ideas that are swarming in your head. And what is she going to go for? And you're reading her and you're developing trust. It's a lot. It's a big job. And I love it. I love it. Talk about it all the time, but just like this is what people don't know, and you can't get it until you're in it. And also, I would love to take you to my job, like take a friend to work day, just see what I do. I always tell my husband, gosh, I wish you could come to work with me because you just can't get it. And I can't tell all the details. And plus, saying it is different than living it. All right, guys, I am like a jabbering jabberwocky today and every day. My kid isn't pooping and he's sleeping. Like, what else? We're just going to chat. I have so much in the chat that I'm just going to go. Two. Okay, this one is meaningful for someone who is in it, but kind of sounds like me. How crazy true it is that every single birth is so incredibly different from the last. Like, we always say birth is different. Everybody's different. We work with humans, like everybody is different. But it's so dang true. It is so dang true. And y'all in the chat, well, you're probably down there. No, you guys can see it there if you're on the computer. You know, if you because I see you all and I'm getting emails and messages from you daily about your VBAC. So I know you've had a baby before. Every baby is different. And I'll say, like, someone will ask me this, like, well, what do most people do? And I'm just like, what? Most people aren't you. Like, there just isn't an answer for that. There is, and we come up with answers that are like, okay, this is what I normally see, or this is the pattern that I've seen recently, or, people like you generally tend to, but it's just so silly. Like, everyone is so different. Nurses think, okay, everyone thinks, okay, I'm going to anticipate this today. Okay, today's going to be, this is what's going to happen. And then boom, we're knocked on our butts because, our humble butts, because one time I had a patient who I would have bet money. And if you know me, you know that is a big deal because I am frugal. I would have bet money that she was 4 centimeters. Homegirl was 9. And I was like, also, can I have your autograph? Because the intensity level that you're experiencing that is not on your face, I can't even handle it. And she gave birth just like that, just like, am I doing all right? I'm like, are you going to freak out? Like, when are you going to freak out? When are you going to look like you're hurting ever? It was just so different. It's so different for everyone. So I would I would say great job, Mandy, for picking a profession that's different every single day, just like you thought, because we all say like, oh, it's different every day. Like, what I get to do is different every day. It truly, truly, truly is. It's so different and it's so cool. And it also helps us like continue to learn and try new things because we know everyone is going to be so different and react so differently. They react to the medication differently. They react to positions. They react emotionally differently. It's cool. It's really cool. It's crazy. Okay. Are you ready for number one? The number one thing that I wish I had known, the truth about labor and delivery. This job has a serious amount of poop. Poop. Okay. Especially my students know we talk about poop and then I want you to just leave it be. Like, forget about it, quit, just ignore it. Everyone talks about poop on labor and delivery. Everyone. It's not just I have to clean up poop because I'm not the kind of person that has a problem with poop. I have a problem with eyeballs and teeth and joints. Okay. So if you're going to show me like I am a popaholic, I can handle blood, I can handle vomit, I can handle poop. I have friends in labor and delivery that do not handle poop. That is a thing. And I'm like, really? You must gag all the time. And they're like, yeah, I do. I gag all the time. So they have friends and we like trade like she'll go in maybe if someone's really gaggy and help with them. And then that friend will go in if someone's really poopy and help her clean it up because we definitely have to keep a straight face. And it's Vegas in those rooms. Like, whatever happens, we don't talk about. We're not going to bring it up. We're not going to make you feel bad. But seriously, people, the poop is a thing. Like, everyone, it's not the cleaning up that I'm talking about. I don't mind it. I seriously don't mind it. But Virginia B, I keep saying, I'm so sorry I'm going to poop every time I was pushing. Yes, it's just like so forefront. If I had a way to like, I don't want to say nail or drill, gosh, it's hard to not have jokes when you talk about birth, and labor nurses have all the jokes. The dirtiest of jokes to get through. I didn't say anything today also about secondary trauma or like traumatic experiences or emergencies. I did it on purpose. I think we'll do a different one for that. This is like the lighthearted version. And then I definitely have another version of emergencies and things that you hold with you forever. And there's that. So that's different than today. But I wish I could figure out a way to give you something to hold on to as strong as you hold on to the poop thing. And I don't know how. And I think that's like cultural and stories and also like a bodily function that we don't share with each other. Like, I'm not going to poop in front of my husband. I'm just not going to do that. And he is like, what? Whatever, whatever. And he is a normal guy and like doesn't care. But we just don't do that. I am still private about that. Uh, but the amount of energy put into worrying about pooping when you're pushing is unreal. And also me having to like untrain your mind that that's a bad thing because if I could just we're live so I can't show you, but if you think, especially when you're laying on your back, or just think of anatomy or go look up anatomy, or in my course there's a big anatomy, multiple images with poop in the image and the large intestine. The baby hits everything in your pelvis, and you have a large intestine in your pelvis. It comes out of your rectum, like there's poop there. And even if it's not because of your pushing, it's because of the baby. It's just like coming out because the baby's coming out. It's just part of it. So even just the other day, at work, I said, all right, if you are worried about, I'm sorry, I'm rocking the video. If you are worried about pooping, then I'm going to go have a break because you're not going to push very well. So I'm going to go like get a snack. I don't want to be in here pushing with you. If you're not going to be pushing, like I got to pee, I could drink water, I could chart. Like I have a billion things I could be doing. Still involved with you. I still think you're great. I'm still going to support you. But if you're worried about pooping, like you're going to waste your time trying to push and not poop because that's not a thing. When babies come out, if you have poop in there, it's going to come out. And I don't know how to get over that. I don't know how to make that okay. Maybe we're all just going to be embarrassed by it, and that's just part of like join the club. You've pooped in front of other people now. I mean, I'm in the club. I pooped and I apologized, and the second time I didn't because I was just like, can't believe that freaking happened. Like I had a baby so quickly. How the heck did I have time to poop? I think it did. No one told me, but I think it did. Uh, I'm out of cares maybe, or it's just like, I just couldn't help it. Like, that's not something I can be sorry about if I can't help it. Still, I work with those people every day. They are my friends. They are my family. They were a almost stranger photographer who saw that fiasco. Like, what am I going to do? There's nothing to do about it. So just so much poop. Also, crap we take from people. Like crap, not just pooping out of your body, but like crap. Like if a family member asks me, when is the baby going to come out? I feel like that's crap. Like I don't know. And I'm going to disappoint you by saying that. Like taking crap from coworkers, taking crap from we work with a ton of providers. We have anesthesia, we have surgeons, we have midwives, we have tons of birth professionals that we work with. I feel like we get crapped on. I just do. I just feel like we take a bunch of crap. It's just part of the job. It's not something that I would like do differently, but it's there. And people are not always nice to their nurse, and they blame us for things that we have no control over. And they don't like sometimes how forward we are because we're in just like a short amount of time to help you. Sometimes we have to be really forward. Sometimes we have to tell you things that you don't want to hear, or like the really hard truths, or something to really try to inspire you to like get through to the next level. Some people don't like that. They give us crap for it. Like, you're going to have a baby in 3 hours. I cannot wait to tell you this next week when we have a better relationship. Like, it's just happening. We get crap for that. Meh. And then always like having babies is emotional for everyone involved, the family, the friends, the family that's not invited in the room, the husband, the girlfriend, the other baby daddy. Like it's emotional, and like a web of feelings. So, when people get emotional, sometimes they don't act like themselves or they act truly like themselves and they're mean. So, that's like, really? I deal with that much crap? I'm nice. I am honest. I still deal with crap. Okay, well, wish I would have known that. And it's not all like fruity rainbows and unicorns. Like, yeah, we do a great job, but the next day we could get cussed out. Like that kind of sucks. That sucks. And we don't get tips, You know that, but and I knew that. I wouldn't do it for tips, but like we just don't. Like you just go to work whether you're going to get cussed out or not, and you do a great job whether someone's going to try to hit you or bite you or hug you or poop on you. Also, I don't mind poop. I don't. I really don't. So I'm going to read your questions now that this has taken forever. I'm sorry. If you're still with me, I love hanging out with you. So thank you. Mostly you guys are just, oh, Donna, are you still there? Donna W. I finally made a live, pregnant and due the 14th, eating dates and drinking red raspberry leaf tea and bouncing on the ball because the doc is talking about another C-section going for a VBAC. VBAC, Donna, we got to talk. I just added a new VBAC sessions live one-on-one, you and me together talking about giving your VBAC birth potential the best chance. And we could talk. We could do that video Skype, video chat. So you check that out at birthnurseacademy.com if you are interested. We could maybe even meet one time, do the 14th. Man, Valentine's Day is a big day. It's a big day. So congratulations, Donna. Thank you for your comment earlier and for your love. I'm so glad you're here. Rebecca, I have a 7-month-old. I'm from Las Vegas, stay at home breastfeeding only from one boob. Hey, Rebecca, join the club. I'm only nursing on one side right now. Probably had a bad latch to begin with, but if you haven't seen the Breastfeeding Sucks series, then I'll link that below. You should, Rebecca. I'm here with you. Hello, welcome to the One-Sided Boobie Club. If you can't tell, yep, can you tell? Can you tell which side is the side? You can tell. One's bigger than the other. I'm currently studying to be a doula. Hey, Tara. Hey, I'm going to scroll and look for questions, answer those, and then go. Hey, mommy. Hey, cool. Hey. Hey, girl. Hey. You're always watching. What a super fan. Breastfeeding your 2-week-old while watching. I'm so proud of you. Congratulations for your baby. No name. Of course you were intimidated. Some births are scary, intense, and raw. My first was so traumatic. I feel like no one talks about that. Girl or boy, no name, they, them, you. I don't know your pronoun, but I'm so glad you're here. I talk about birth trauma all the time, and I talk about trauma and abuse and assault. I talk about it. So you're in the right place. I'm so glad you're here. I hope you've subscribed, and I hope to see you on another live. I'll try to be very clear about when those videos pop up because more are coming. Sarah Stacy, it was really eye-opening for me during the birth of our first how much work labor and birth was for my husband too. He was my labor support my whole labor. Hey, what a great, I wish I would have known. Thank you for adding that, Sarah. That is so true. It is so true. It does take so much for your birth team, your superheroes that you've chosen to be with you. It does take so much. And I think some of that comes out like when the dad cries, like it comes out in that exhausted like release. And if it comes out in tears, I think everyone else is like taking a little release as well. But you're right. It is important to remember them and to, acknowledge that they've been awake with you and they've been pushing on you and they've been anticipating your needs and they've been like that emotional solid rock for you also, or at least they tried, right? And not everyone can anticipate every single thing you'll need because you can't even do that, but at least they're trying, and that's a lot. That's why nurses go home tired. That's a lot. Virginia, I'm so sorry, I'm gonna poop. Oh, Sarah, your husband told you days after you gave birth that you pooped in labor before he told you didn't know? Why did he tell you? I make it so clear, like, do not talk about this. Maybe he just had to like let it out. Hey, it's better telling you than like the guys at work, right? Hey, guess what? My wife totally pooped. I wouldn't want anyone else to know that. Oh, mindless lioness, mindless. I never thought of pooping. Great. I just added that to your list of worries. I'm so sorry. I poop too. I also kept apologizing. Thanks, Kiona. Poop club. Everyone does. If you don't, like something's weird. Did you enema before you came? Like came to the hospital? What is going on? Oh, Elizabeth. I don't know if I did with baby number 1 or not. I'm so glad. All right, Jill baby, I'm planning a water birth. I told my husband he has to scoop up any poop and pretend it never happened. He jokingly said he's mad, not about the poop, but having to act like it never happened. Oh, yeah. I mean, there's so many jokes. I have never seen a baby come out in the water before. We don't do that at the hospital. And I've experienced like labor in water, but I've never experienced anyone pushing their baby out in water. I can't imagine the poop floating. Like a lot of labor nurses talk about that and they're like, nope, 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 nope. A lot of labor nurses are super medical as well. Like they want what you want, but they're in a medical world. They don't do home birth. They don't do a ton of birth centers. Mostly nurses are in the hospital. And a lot of them are like, yeah, no babies are coming out because the poop and they know poop happens. And so they're like, you can't avoid it. So no, I don't want to be scooping out poop. Talk about crap with your job. Scooping poop from a tub. That is that's a different experience. Your husband is awesome for offering to do that for you. That is love, right? That is true love. I mean, I would do that for you. That would be a new experience. New experience. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just like processing. A lot of nurses have opinions about it. I don't have a super huge opinion about it, but a lot of nurses are like, I would never do that. They would. I know they would. I went from mommy Nicole, I went from 6 centimeters to baby in my arms in 15 minutes with my second 2-hour labor with her. With my first, I had a 19-hour labor. 2-hour labor. Tell us your secrets. What is going on? Oh, a disposable liner. Yeah, Jill baby, we use fishnets. That's what I've heard. I thought that was a myth. I didn't really know that was a thing. Fishnets to scoop the poop. Is that weird? How do you feel about that? Elizabeth, I wish induction had been fully explained to me prior to the day. I was basically told you start meds at 8 a.m. and you'll have your baby by the afternoon. 22 hours later, my son finally came. Yeah, whoever told you that was not being super truly honest with you. Obviously, you know that now, but wrong. Like that doesn't happen for everyone. Uncommon for it to happen with your first baby as well. Yeah, what I wish I would have known. I'm glad you tell. So keep sharing your stories. If you have anything down in the comments, what you wish you would have known about any of this, share with us because we're learning. I think the best stuff comes from people who've done it and what they wish they would have known. That means something they learned through their experience. I think it's awesome. If you have a nurse in your life or a provider, birth professional, you think this would resonate, share the video. Thank you for the love. If this helped you, you enjoyed the antics, you love seeing my left side bigger than my right side. Thanks for the thumbs up. Consider subscribing. And next week, I think I don't know. I might do a live. I'm always here on Wednesdays. If you haven't checked out the 125 labor positions, do that. Download it, put it on your phone, share it with your whole birth superhero team. They can put it on their phone. 125 is a lot. If you need help, like figuring out what they all mean, show it to your labor nurse. Ask your doula. Okay. They should know a lot of the weird ones. And if not, check out the videos. I'm going to be doing more on what the heck all these positions are. And so that they all make sense. But you may have to show your nurse and be like, hey, I saw this one. What is this? Can you help me with this? Do that. Bring them in. They want to be part of it. They just may not know how to help you in the best way. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for the live people. And if you're watching this later, thank you for the shares and all the love. Really, really. I just met a new friend recently at my Spinning Babies workshop. And she said, oh my gosh, Mandy, I watch you before. She's a new doula. I watch you before I go to a birth to get me pumped up to feel like I have the confidence to help her. That was so beautiful. Thank you so much for saying that. That was so cute. So thank you so much for the love. I will see you guys next week. Go birth boldly. Bye.